We got driver the number 18 Skittles Toyota, Kyle Busch. Here, Kyle has 15 NASCAR National Series victories at Bristol, 5 in the Cup Series. Just want to talk about your success here and coming into this weekend.
It's been a real good place for me years past, and not quite as good as last couple years, but we'd certainly like to change that around a little bit and get back to our old winning ways here with the Skittles Camry and put the rainbow in victory lane. But we'll see how things go. Obviously, Nationwide here's too, so always look forward to that stuff, and then looking forward to what the race is going to have in store for us here Sunday, and if anything's changed from last year, which I doubt, that we'll all be running up top and trying to figure out the new old new Bristol.
All right, Kyle is tied for the active wins lead with his brother Kurt and Jeff Gordon, all with 5. Any questions for Kyle? Nate?
Bob Hocker, Sporting News. As a whole, are you guys at Gibbs after last week, are you scratching your head a little bit about the new aero rules, or do you feel like you kind of have a bead on maybe why you guys were kind of up and down throughout the day?
I don't think it's anything to do with the aero rules. I think it's just to do with the new ride height rules. There's the box, used to be so big, now it's way bigger. It just allows more opportunity for teams to experiment and to come up with different things that make their cars go fast. So, I don't discount the time and effort and everything that my guys put in at the race shop and everybody that at Joe Gibbs Racing, all the work that they do. But there's teams out there right now that have worked a little smarter than us and figured it out a little earlier than us. But if now's the time to struggle a little bit, certainly earlier in the season is an okay time to do that. But you do need to pick business up, I don't know, I'd say probably by at least week 10 or so, and get yourself rolling.
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Kyle, you were talking about trying to figure out the new Bristol. The High Line now being the preferred groove. Is it harder to rough guys up, and like what's the strategy now for passing with that High Line? Because it seems like it's more slide jobs and that kind of thing. But with the bump and run, it seemed like it was easier to move a guy. It seems like it might be harder now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it is harder. You run into the corner and you try to move a guy out of the way, and when you hit him, there's really no room for him to slide up, and you're already going left. You can't just turn farther left. If we could, then we'd all be running around here faster. So essentially when you run the bottom, you could go in the corner, hit a guy, he would move up out of the way, you would roll on through. You can't roll in the corner, hit a guy, cut underneath him, and pass him. So there's a whole different way of how you've got to race now. So that's why it's sort of single file around the top. There's more slide jobs, there's things going on like that. So it's certainly more challenging, or a bigger challenge than what it used to be, and it's just different form of racing than what it used to be. So it's something we've all become accustomed to here the last few times, especially that the top is the way to go, because when they ground the top, they tried to ruin the top, and they actually helped it more than the bottom because they smoothed it out. And once you get rubber developed up there, once you get the rubber laid down up there, it's actually faster than the bottom. I mean, you can pick up 0.2 of a second just like that, So they accomplished their goal of single file. They just did it at the wrong spectrum, bottom versus top.
Gentleman in the front.
Nate Hubbard with the Bristol paper. As someone who's experienced as much success in Nationwide as you had, what's your continued motivation to keep racing on the series, and especially at Bristol? What makes you so eager just to get behind the wheel as much as you can here?
I think the biggest thing is, sponsorship dollars. Obviously, Monster Energy pays a lot of money for me to drive their car in the Nationwide series, and I went to them a few years ago. When Z-Line was kind of going away and NOS was kind of going away. They weren't going to do as much in the sport. So we went to Monster and asked them what they wanted to do, and they said, they'd be interested in a full Nationwide deal. And so we took it, we did it, and that's why I run Nationwide. If if I didn't have those guys, then I'm not so sure that they would feel confident being in the sport whatsoever. So at least it's another team that's out there that's running around and is in business. It's not necessarily just for me, but there's 16, 17 guys on that team in the 54 car that have jobs because of that sponsor. So that's sort of the main reason. I guess if there wasn't a sponsor for me to race nationwide, then I'd be like Carl Edwards. I wouldn't do it anymore. He just I don't think that he doesn't want to do it. I think he would if he could. I just don't think that Roush has the money to have a nationwide car for him when they're short on other cars.
Go Brant and then Al.
Brant James, ESPN.com. You're about to join a small group of guys to have led 10,000 laps for their career. Do you consider stats very much in general? And if so, specifically, what does that one mean to you, or what does that tell you about the first part of the career?
It's pretty neat. Anytime we're able to set records, break records, meet, match, however you want to say it, it's always fun. I mean, it just means you're accomplishing things in the sport, various things in the sport. There's a lot of things that I want to accomplish still that I haven't, and whatever things come along that way that we're able to accomplish is awesome. It's fun. It's great. It means you are a namesake in the sport, and that hopefully things continue to go down that path. Whether it stops at 10,000 or not, I doubt it will. So hopefully we just keep going.
Go Al in the back.
Yeah, Kyle, Al Pearson, Motor Week. I know it's a long way off, but 2 of the last 3 races leading into the chase are on short tracks here in Richmond. Can we expect the intensity level to even be greater those last 2 or 3 weekends for guys who have not made the chase, or is it going to be the same level of intensity all year so you don't have to do that at the last 2?
No, I think you're going to see it pick up for sure, and I would especially expect it to pick up also if there are guys that are leading races that have wins and guys that are running second that don't have wins to get themselves in the chase. I think you're going to see some things happening. So it's going to be interesting on how all that plays out. But, it's a part of what the sport is. It's what the rules grant it now. And, everybody's playing by the same ones, but, some might play a little harder than others.